Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor. Today we're talking about the top 5 rookie wide receivers heading into the NFL this season. There's a ton of talk about how good these wide receivers are this year, how tough this draft class is. We're going to talk about that and, of course, some fantasy football relevance to that. Stay tuned, guys. Huge episode, top 5 rookie wide receivers. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Top 5 rookie wide receivers for 2020 and the fantasy football potential impact of these guys in this episode. Go back, guys. We just did an episode with Walter Football on the top 5 rookie running backs. So you want to definitely check that out as well. Now, understand, this is pre-draft. Things are going to change as soon as we find out where these guys are landing, because where they're landing is really going to significantly impact their fantasy football relevance. So it's very important right now in around mid-March, you get a feel of who their names are, a little bit about their talent, get an idea about them, so that when time comes after the NFL draft, you're like, oh, okay, I already know who they are. I kind of have an idea about their, strengths and weaknesses. Now I can make an educated decision based on where they landed to maybe consider drafting it for 2020 fantasy football. Very important. Let's get to the top 5 receivers. But before I do, I want you guys to make sure you guys know that I've changed the game for the draft solution game, okay? There's no more draft kits, scrap them. Get the 16-round draft solution at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. That's thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. There's also a link below here on YouTube. You can pre-order right now at the lowest possible price. The price is going up, okay, right after the draft. So pre-order now. Get locked in. It's the first ever video training. I tell you the optimal players to draft in each round. You're absolutely going to blow away and crush your friends this year. It won't even be fair. It's not even fair. It's a total disadvantage. So trust me, they are at a big disadvantage. Get the 16-round draft solution right now, thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Draft kits are dead. The draft solution's where it's at. All right, so again, leave a thumbs up. Again, don't forget, I really appreciate the thumbs up. And of course, comment, leave your questions below. I'll get to as many as I possibly can, and Tim and I are going to answer some of these questions that show you out on YouTube. Questions below, thumbs up, subscribe. All right, top 5 rookie wide receivers. Let's start off with a name you're probably hearing a lot, and understandably so. Guy by the name of Jeudy out of Alabama. The guy is 6'1", around 190, 195 pounds, maxes out. We're in a 4.45. Very, very impressive. Jeudy, what makes him so good? Well, he's a very complete wide receiver, okay? So make some notes here, guys. It's very important when you want to consider drafting these guys. So he's a complete receiver. He's very quick off the line. He's a phenomenal route runner. That's what everybody likes about him, is his route running ability. He stops on a dime, switches direction, outstanding body control, okay? Very, very polished route runner, fights for those extra yards after the catch. And of course, his hands are absolutely phenomenal, and he makes really good contested catches. So if he's battling a DB, he fights for it, he gets the ball, and again, creates that separation, and he stops on a dime, switches direction, and just phenomenal, okay? So that's what people like about him. Last year, 15 yards per catch, could have been a little bit higher. Again, very quick off the line. I guess the only drawback to him, they're saying, is that he's a little bit undersized, 190. They want him to be a little bit bigger, but hey, nobody can be perfect, right? So I like his combine time. I like the upside there. I was just talking to Walter Football, and this guy, I mean, he lives and breathes the college football as well. So he studies the draft, he gets into it. He thinks the Raiders might be a good fit for him. I'm only concerned that if Derek Carr is still the quarterback, that might hinder the ceiling of Jeudy. So I'm really interested to see, yes, if the Raiders take him, but are they going to stay with Derek Carr? Because I really don't believe Derek Carr is the guy there in Oakland that could get it done, okay? Years to wow us, we're not wowed. So again, Jeudy's a guy you may want to consider getting. Again, I'm doing this video pre-NFL free agency, pre-NFL draft, so things are definitely going to change. Okay, the second wide receiver, and again, these are 1 and 2. There's a lot of debate whether the guys after are in the right order. It is what it is. But what I like about this year is that these guys at wide receiver could make an impact for fantasy, and you don't typically see that at the wide receiver position. But this is a different year. I think there could be some special things that could happen this year with the wide receivers if they land on the right team, in the right spot, and they get the volume and targets, okay? So number 2, we got to go with CeeDee Lamb. What I like about CeeDee Lamb, it's very, very exciting. He is that athletic, wiry guy, big catch radius, strong hands. That's very important, right? Yards per catch last year were 21.4. That's pretty high. So he is very athletic. He gets the yards after catch. He is explosive downfield, okay? He fights for the ball. Long limbs, wiry, strong. Just think big catch radius, okay? 6'2", 190, ran a 4.50 out of Oklahoma. CeeDee Lamb is a guy that I think could make an impact. On tape, I watched a tape between Jeudy and him. CeeDee does look more impressive. He does look more athletic. But if you watch, Jeudy just stops, cuts, and he's got amazing route running. CeeDee Lamb looks more of like a big body, kind of just an exciting receiver, explosive-wise. It's going to be very interesting to see where he lands because I think he could have an immediate fantasy impact. So again, between these two, I'm torn. I feel safer with Jeudy, but I love CeeDee Lamb. But I love both these guys at 1 and 2. Coming in number 3, you guys know him. The name was, kept getting mentioned at the Combine. He ran a 4.27, very impressive, 6 foot, 195 out of Alabama. It's Henry Ruggs, okay? Now, the notes that I got out of him is very strong hands, very fast. We already know that. And again, explosive leaper, and he rips the ball down to catch it off defenders. So he will fight for that ball. He attacks at the catch point. Okay, so when he sees the ball, he's fighting a DB, he will attack and pull and rip that ball down. So strong and fast are what comes up in my mind. Now, again, the drawbacks to him from what I'm reading based on scouting reports, and again, I've watched the video on these guys, I've watched a ton of tape, is that he's got a limited route tree. We're kind of seeing him as a potential wide receiver 2 on a team, as a complementary guy that could kind of blow the top off defenses potentially. So maybe as a complementary receiver, there is speculation on whether he's going to be a solid wide receiver 1. We see him maybe lining up. Now, I was talking to Walter Football again, Walter from Walter Football, and he's saying that the Broncos are they've got their sights set on this guy. He would be a great complementary receiver to Courtland Sutton, because Courtland Sutton's big and strong, be a nice red zone target. This guy can blow the top off the defenses and be a good complement for the Broncos. It'd be very interesting to see now with if Drew Lock gets a start. That could be a really high-octane offense. I think they're safe at running back, not so much for fantasy, but in reality. And if they get Ruggs lining up with Sutton, I think you got a good combination there in Denver. So that's going to be exciting to see, okay? So Henry Ruggs, fast and strong. Now, there's 3. I'm actually going to give you 6 wide receivers here, okay, that I like. So, again, the last 3 here, no particular order, but I know I was talking to Walter. He likes some of these guys better than me. Like, I like T. Higgins at 4, but it could easily be Justin Jefferson or Laviska Shenault. So I'm going to go here and put in T. Higgins at number 4. Again, this could vary. I mean, if Jefferson ends up on a better team, I'd slide him up there. You can just juggle this around. Now, T. Higgins, 6'4", 250, a little taller than some of the other guys, ran a 4.54. Not bad for a big dude, right? Great ball tracking is what some of the notes I have on him. Strong hands, massive catch radius, and physical runner, okay? A little sluggish and slow off the line is what we're getting from T. Higgins. But a big guy, again, 19.8 yards per catch. So you're going to get a good, if he's in a good situation, you're probably going to get some good fantasy points out of him. But again, not as exciting as Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb when you're looking at these wide receivers. 2 other guys I like, coming at number 5, Justin Jefferson out of LSU. And obviously he had a good quarterback throwing him, 6'3", 190. What I like about him, again, great runner, great route runner, great separation, plays tough. And what I like, and I know Burrow's throwing the ball, he basically threads the needle sometimes, but he makes difficult catches, Justin Jefferson. That's what I liked about him. So I was watching the tape on him, and yeah, man, he comes up with the ball when they need him. So definitely consider drafting Justin Jefferson if he's on a good team. That's what I'm concerned about. Now, there is concern about him lacking top-end speed, and his run after catch, not the greatest, 13.9 back in 2019. You know, he is, again, a guy that makes difficult catches, that's safe and reliable, but not as explosive as some of the, like a CeeDee Lamb or anything like that from what we're hearing. But again, great separation, great route running, makes tough catches. Those are the notes that I made, looked at scouting reports, watched the tape, and came up with. So Justin Jefferson is a guy that could be solid. The other guy, Laviska Shenault, okay, what I like about him from what I'm hearing, he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He's kind of a gadget player. He's a great all-around receiver. He is explosive, and he plays out of the backfield. So he is a playmaker. Now, his touchdowns weren't as high as I would like him back in 2019. Ran a 4.58, not the most exciting, and 13.6 yards per catch. 6'2", 225 out of Colorado. Didn't have the greatest quarterback throwing to him. But again, with this guy, you want to watch out because the durability could be an issue. He did miss some games. As of right now, his ADP in regards to real draft may drop because of those missed games. Durability becomes a question. So that's the whole story here with Laviska Shenault. Be cautious with him, especially because of the durability issue. But a guy that's going to be versatile, play out of the backfield. You know, I don't know about fantasy. When I see players like this, you know, back in the Tavon Austins of the world, receivers like that, you know, they look flashy, they look good, they look like they can make the plays. How that's going to translate into fantasy points is a big question mark to me. So I'm really going to be watching to see where he ends up. Because if he's got two other good wide receivers on his team, he's probably not going to get the volume that you expect out of him in regards to be fantasy relevant, okay? So again, these are your top 5. I gave you a bonus one. Top 6, guys, rookie wide receivers going into 2020 fantasy football. Love the class this year. Love the upside. And I think there's going to be some solid fantasy relevance out of these guys predicated on where they land. So watch the situation closely. And again, I'm going to be doing more of these videos. As soon as the draft is done, we're going to, you know, come back to this and say, hey, well, Henry Ruggs landed here. I like him better than Jerry Jeudy. He might get more volume. So once that draft is done, we're going to know a lot more. Hopefully this helps you, give you guys a better overview of these guys. Now you're aware of them. Now you have an idea. Now you're, you know, a lot of people don't know, right? These players, they don't know anything about them. So I'm here to educate you guys and help you guys get that dominative edge, okay? Click subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and make sure you guys pre-order the 16-round draft solution at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. And leave a comment below. Like to get to as many questions as I can. Not only about the wide receivers, but the running backs or anything fantasy football. I'm here to help you guys dominate. Smash the thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.